else did you take away from that interview and maybe some other conversations you've had?
He's an impressive young man. And again, playing quarterback is not just the talent and the arm strength. It's all the intangibles. And J.J. McCarthy has all those. He's the kind of guy you want to have in your locker room as the face of your franchise. He's got the full support of that team. He radiates positivity. He is just so pleasant to be around, such an upbeat, upstanding guy. And so that is why I think there are teams out there that have fallen in love with the guy and why we've seen his stock rise during this process, because it's beyond just the things that we've seen on the field. It's all the intangible factors that I think elevate his status and make him a first-round draft pick that we fully expect is going to go at some point in the first 11 picks on Thursday night.
Yeah, he's a connector of people, Adam. You even think about some of the things that Michigan team went through last season. JJ was kind of the glue that held everybody together. Let's get Mina and Dan back in here. And Mina, we have linked McCarthy to, like, I don't know, 7 teams, 6 teams. But which situation would actually be the perfect landing spot for him in your mind?
Well, it's the one that Adam sort of slyly hinted at there when he said the first 11, because that's Minnesota at 11. The question is whether they're going to have to go up and get him, which is entirely possible. But, you know, the Vikings are a dream destination for any quarterback, but I think it's especially true for J.J. McCarthy. At the beginning of this segment, when you had Dan comparing him to Kirk Cousins, I was nodding in agreement, because you see a lot of the similar skills in terms of the accuracy, throwing over the middle of the field. He's excellent off of play action. You certainly saw that at Michigan. He's good at throwing off the move. He's tough. He will hang in a pocket and take hits, which is, by the way, a really underrated aspect of Kirk Cousins' game. So if Minnesota takes him, it will because they see him and it's just easy for them to map his skill set onto Cousins. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're drawn to it because of that.
Yeah, I agree. In October of this past season, during one of Michigan's games, I tweeted out, J.J. McCarthy's going to look awesome as a Viking. One of the things that I've become frustrated with is people talking about him like he doesn't have remarkable arm talent, like remarkable ability to throw the football. And in the play-action pass game, which is what he ran a ton in Michigan and what he would run a ton at Minnesota, I think he's the best in this class when it comes to operating that stuff, seeing the defense and playing with multiple personnel and making some of those difficult throws. This is against Washington, 21 personnel, 2 back, 1 tight end. Minnesota's going to run this, the dagger concept, the deep cross in and in. Now this backside tight end is going to block. JJ has to play fake and see that backside safety. If he bites down, we want to throw the crosser. Ball fake happens, you see it, get his eyes to that back safety right now. Okay, so that creates vacant space. Now find that middle field safety to make sure he's not overlapping too much. One hitch and let the ball loose. Look how in rhythm this is. One hitch and cut that ball. Now, that backside safety is already turning and running. He's got to throw this ball to that small window right now. That is outstanding play action pass operation, mechanics, and execution. That's not just like, that's not the highlight clip. That's all over his tape.
Yeah.
That's all over what Minnesota what the Vikings want to do with Kevin O'Connell. So when it comes to, can we take a guy that's incredibly talented? He was the 5th ranked quarterback coming out of high school. Okay, it wasn't like this guy came out of nowhere, all right? Incredibly physically talented, and put him in a place and he's going to go. I would tell you this. If Minnesota takes him, he is the by far early favorite for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Wow.
With the talent that they have in the scheme, it's the ideal place for him.
It is going to be fascinating to see if Minnesota feels like they can wait until 11 or if they need to go up, and then who would that trade partner be? Check this out, by the way. McCarthy's head coach at Michigan, obviously Jim Harbaugh, and he got a tattoo over the weekend to commemorate the team's undefeated championship season. I don't know. There's so many things I like about this.
One of them, eye contact.
I mean, Mina, like, he didn't even flinch. I've never gotten a tattoo. I would imagine it's a little bit painful, right? Like,
do any of us have a tattoo?
Yeah.
Dan.
It doesn't hurt actually on the outside. I have one on the outside here. It doesn't hurt. It hurts more on the inside. I'm just so glad Jim Harbaugh's back in the NFL. Yeah. He's such a stone cold weirdo. I just love him.
You know what? We can say that on this show because, like, so are we. Adam, you getting one of those undefeated 15-0s on your arm?
Well, I didn't, but I do think that Jim shouldn't stop there. He should promise now that if the Chargers win a Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl in franchise history, he should promise to get a Vince Lombardi trophy right beneath the 15-0. right? Why stop there?
sure where he was
Keep
going.
going. Now that he's got some ink, let's load it up on that arm. Let's make sure that it's decorated with even more trophies and more highlights of
There
a
we
great
go.
football career.
You know, I was thinking like maybe somewhere he could just lift up the khaki on his ankle and show it off. All right, I think I'm done.
Do you have a tattoo?
I don't have any tattoo. Do you, Dan? You don't have tattoos? No. Oh, you're looking at me like, I don't know, it wouldn't shock
I'm
me.
scared of needles.
You are a stone cold weirdo. Still ahead, we could potentially see